All right, so we read Space Junk, and it's a report, and we did.
Real places, real things, and real objects.
Real people?
Real places, real things.
That's right. All right, so we're going to look through the subject. We're going to read through it together now. And anytime we find something that sounds like it's the subject of this story, did anyone reading it on their own find the subject? What did you think it was, Gemma?
The moon.
The moon is an example of one of these. Michael? Space junk. What is the space junk that they're talking about in this story? Evan, you had an idea? Kayla? Satellite. That's exactly it. Let's see how many times we see the word satellite in the story. The moon was Earth's first satellite. Boom. A satellite is a small body that goes around a bigger one. The first man-made satellite, ding ding, went into orbit in 1957. In 1968, there were over 300 satellites in orbit. Let's pause there and see, what does orbit mean to you? Go ahead, Bella. Planets, that's an example of something that does orbit, but what are they doing when they're orbiting? Nick, when the planets orbit, what are they doing?
They're moving around.
They're moving around something. That's exactly it. So these are things that are going around our Earth, all right? More than 300. Some satellites, ding ding, there's our word, send back weather pictures. Others send out radio waves. Some satellites we call junk. In 1963, the United States put millions of small pieces of wire in orbit.
You forgot something. You're 300,000. You forgot a satellite.
Oh, you caught me. You sure did. Thank you, Nick, for paying such good attention. Alrighty, so we have those wires in orbit. There's that word going around again. They were used to carry radio waves. So can you imagine just little pieces of wire out there floating in a circle around Earth? And just floating around. Scatters of wire. Sounds like a big mess, doesn't it? They were used to carry radio waves. Many of these wires, so these radio waves, ever turned on the radio and heard music in the car? That's what they're talking about. Or walkie-talkies and radios and planes. That's how they make these things work. Many of the wires are still there. Some space junk was not put in orbit on purpose. Uh-oh. One piece of space junk is a glove lost by an astronaut. So he must have been, how do you think he lost his glove in space? What's some ideas we had about that? Michael? Fixing a satellite, yep. Okay, thank you, Jonah. Go in the other room.
Maybe the glove slipped off his
Flips off his hand, right? And then out in space, there it is. But Earth has gravity, and so it keeps it going around, just like our moon's going around.
Have to circle space junk.
Space junk, nope. Satellites are what they're talking about. So the junk is an example of one of the satellites. So satellites are things that are going around our Earth, okay? Space is very big. Does it matter if there's junk in orbit? Some people think so. They say we must be careful how we use this new resource. They think anything man puts into space should be built to come back to Earth when work is done. What do you think about that? Alexa, should anything that we put in space be brought back to Earth? Or do you think it's okay to just let it go out there?
I think you should put it back.
Your own team put it back? Should we take a vote? Yeah. Raise your hand if you think we should take all of our things back out of space. Raise your hand if you think it's okay to leave things out there.
No.
Some of you didn't vote. Some things yes, some things no. Maybe there's...
Then I say yes. First, then I say yes.
You say yes? All right.
Vote one more time.
One more vote?
Yeah, I got confused.
All right. Do you think we should bring our things home with us?
I want you to listen as I say what.
Yeah.
You think we should just leave them in space?
No.
No. All right.
Again.
That's okay. We're going to go on to our organizer. So we've been using these graphic organizers, right? We read through things, and now we're going to learn to decipher our text. So, what definition did we learn?
Satellite.
Satellite, exactly, Nick.
Space junk.
So what is a satellite?
A satellite is like a machine that
A machine can be a satellite, but the moon was one too. So let's think. Bella?